Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, I wanted to speak about why you are getting ghosted on LinkedIn. Now, if you are on LinkedIn, this has probably most definitely happened to you at some point, probably more than once, is getting ghosted. Now, there are so many different reasons why someone may be ignoring your messages on LinkedIn, but I want to go over the 6 common pitfalls, the 6 common reasons that people are not responding to you, so that by the end of this video, you'll be able to send messages, get responses, get people on calls, and stop getting ignored. Now, I'm gonna try and balance this. Okay, I found a place to sit because my arms were getting tired holding it up. I don't know how people vlog, but I was tired after about 5 minutes, so I have a newfound respect for all the vloggers out there. Now, I wanna go over the 6 common reasons that people could be ignoring you on LinkedIn. Let's start with number 1. They're busy. Now, people are busy, people have lives. It might not be anything to do with your message. It might not be that they don't like you or they don't want to have a conversation with you, but they may just genuinely be busy. They're up to other things. You have to give them a little bit of time to respond. So if someone doesn't respond to you, it doesn't mean harass them with messages until they get back to you. They're more likely to then see that message and be like, okay, this person is super irritating and I've not even responded to them yet and they're already annoying me. Like I had someone messaging me and we were in like a conversation and I didn't get back to them for like 2 days and they were sending question marks and it was a potential client. So I was responding to them really, really quickly and then it got into like general conversation. We had like a call booked and everything. They were messaging me and then they started sending question marks and like message, like even if I got back to them and it was like a couple of hours, they'd be annoying me. So I was like, I don't want to work with this person. I don't want to work with a client if they can't wait 120 minutes to have a response from me, because that's just not the kind of frame that I want to set for the rest of the relationship. But don't harass people with messages. They are going to see your message and get back to it. If they haven't, wait a couple days, wait a week or so, send them a polite follow-up, but never be rude, don't be pushy. Number 2, they may not be active LinkedIn users. Just because they haven't responded to your message, it might mean that they don't go on LinkedIn very often. So it could be that they check LinkedIn every Sunday at 7 p.m. or every Monday morning. Like it doesn't mean that they haven't seen it or that they're ignoring you. It may just be that they only check LinkedIn every now and again. So the key with that one is to be patient, cut your losses. Before I even mention the rest of them, one of the key takeaways from everything I want to speak about today in this video is the fact that it's also a numbers game. It's a law of average. You can't be liked by everybody. You can't have 100% of people responding to you. And that's just inevitable. It's completely out of your control. It doesn't mean that it could be that your messages are fantastic. You've got the most incredible LinkedIn profile. Everything is perfect, but you're never going to get 100% response rate. So don't be expecting 100%. There's always going to be some people that never get back to you. There's no point in getting cut up about it. It just means you have to speak to more and more people. But these are just a couple other things you need to be aware of and avoid to improve the chances to get your response rate as high as we possibly can. The 3rd reason could be that your message put them off. So it could have been too pushy or too salesy. You don't want to ask something straight away. So if your message is straight going into a hard sell, I know that I wouldn't respond and most other people wouldn't unless they are desperate or maybe you caught them at just the right time that they're looking for somebody. You might be in luck at that point, but most of the time, if your first message is pushy or salesy, you're going to get ignored, or I will unfollow someone or remove the connection that I have with them if they're annoying from the offset. So definitely avoid that pitfall. 4th point, you did not put in any effort to find common ground. Now, if someone is sending the generic connection request, which if you are, please stop this video and make a promise to me and to yourself that you're never going to send the generic LinkedIn connection request message, because it genuinely hurts. It hurts my soul. That's how passionate I am about this. And it's plain lazy. Like it's so lazy. Like if you want to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, at least put in a little bit of effort to show them that you care about their connection, that you're not just trying to connect with everyone so that you can send them your sales pitches until they like give in and have a call with you. Have a look through their profile before you request to connect with them. So do a little bit of profile research, find out some common ground that you can use to connect with them. It could be that you studied at the same university, that you have common interests, that like literally anything. It's going to be different for every single connection, but try and find some common ground. It could be that you've met them before, that you watched one of their YouTube videos, that you listened to one of their podcasts, or you saw one of their interviews, read their book, literally anything. one of the best ways to do it is praise. So I'll always use something, if there's something that I have to praise them on, to compliment them on, I'll use that and be like, hey, I love the content that you put out on YouTube. Hey, I listened to your podcast that you released last week with this person, found it super interesting, would love to connect and continue to support your content. That works really well with me. Like, I know when people send me a connection request, I have a lot of them right now. So if I haven't accepted you yet, and you've personalized your connection request, I will accept you. It just takes me a while to get around to them. But if people send me connection requests and they give me a compliment or they tell me that they appreciate the content I put out, it means a lot to me. And like, that's the whole point of me putting out content, is to hear feedback and have someone say, hey, that video really helped me out, or hey, like, these are the results I got from your YouTube video, or like from your masterclass or your case study. Like, it makes me feel good about myself, and it makes me like that person and want to accept them and connect with them. So that's a really good way to connect with somebody. Sorry, my camera just died. Okay, so that was point number 4. Number 5 could be because you ignored them in the first place. I've done this before. I did it in the past when I first joined LinkedIn. I would be really, really good at responding to messages for the first couple of weeks, and then I'd have like a slow week, and then I'd look back at messages, and because I was sending out so many messages, speaking to so many people, I would lose some conversations that could have been good prospects. And then I will go through and clear my inbox every week. So I'll go through all of my messages to make sure that I've responded to everything, and then I'll archive all of the messages that I've responded to. Similar to like on WhatsApp, if you respond to a message and you want to clear your inbox, you can just archive it afterwards. I'll archive everything in my LinkedIn inbox so that it keeps it clean and fresh, so that I stay on top of messages. But I didn't know this when I first started. So I would forget to respond to some people, have a look back through some messages, see a really good prospect and be like, damn, I forgot to respond to that person. And then you'll send out a message and then they'll never get back to you because you're engaged in a conversation, they responded to you, and then you don't respond for 3 weeks. I've literally had them where it's been like 5 months that it was terrible. And then I would look back at it and be like, damn, like I missed a really good opportunity there. Now I'm getting better at it, but there's been some times, like if you use automation, sometimes you'll get overwhelmed and like flooded with messages, and it will be hard to stay on top of it. So now I try and be a little bit more structured. I still do miss a few now and again. But the best thing you can do is try your hardest, try and slot in some time every day to clear your inbox to make sure you stay on top of things. And if there's a good prospect, another thing to do is to log it in a CRM. So a good way is to put any good or ideal prospects, hot conversations that you have, is that the right word? Put them into a CRM so that you remember to stay on top and respond to that person at some point. Okay, the final point is number 6. So this is because you went in and asked for something instead of offering free value or trying to find some common ground with them. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of people will go straight into a DM on LinkedIn. They'll be like, hey, please can I have an introduction to your CEO? Thanks, Natasha, bye. No, that is not going to work most of the time. If you want to receive something, the best way to do that is to give in the first place. So it's the act of reciprocity. Now, if I want to get an introduction to somebody's CEO, I would usually give them something for free without directly asking or like demanding that they do something back, but giving it to them and then giving them the option of helping me out in return. So if I wanted to be introduced, I could say, for example, send a Loom. So I could send a video to somebody instead of just typing it out, because this is more personalized. It shows that you actually care or invested, want to take the time to get to know this person in order to then get what else you want out of the connection. And I would send a video to someone, say it's like a director of a company, I want to be introduced to CEO. I could send a video to the director, introduce myself. So introduce myself, what I do, who I help, that I've identified this company and that I'd love to have a chance to speak with the person who manages the marketing or to get an introduction to the CEO. Say, either way, look, I took a look through your profile. Obviously, my expertise is in LinkedIn lead generation. Now, obviously, as a director of the company, it's important that you have a strong LinkedIn presence, a good outlook when it comes to potential customers, having a look at your page, etc., etc. You're going to be coming up in the search results. So as a favor to you, just provide you some free value. I've put together a free LinkedIn audit, which I will send over after this video. Now, there is a slight string attached, but I would not be offended if you decide not to. I really would like to be introduced to X person. because I would like to speak to them about XYZ opportunity, whatever it is that you want to speak to them about. Now, I completely understand if you are super busy, that's not high up on your list of priorities of your things to get done, because you've probably got a list of other things that are way more important to you right now than introducing me to this person. However, I would highly, highly appreciate it if you could take a minute or two to set me up in a group chat or introduce me to this person or pass on my name. Either way, please take the free LinkedIn audit. I hope you enjoy it. Put it to good use. And it's great to be connected. And I'd literally do it as such a soft ask where I'm being really passive about it. There's no aggressive tones through that. It's just saying, I'd really appreciate it if you could introduce me. If not, understand. Either way, keep the free value. It's great to be connected with you. Let me know if you have any other questions. Just be super polite. And that seems to work really well because I've given them something they already feel entitled to return the favor, because they're like, oh, she's just like sent me, she's put in all this time to like send me something that's going to help me out. Like with us, it kind of comes across as more selfless because it's saying you don't have to do this for me, but if you want to, if you've got the time, then I would really like it. So that's kind of how I like to ask for something in a polite way. Give first and then you shall receive. So that is everything for this video. Please, as always, give the video a thumbs up if you found it valuable, if you took something new, if you learned something from it, as it does help this video get out to more and more people. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, as it helps me grow, and it also tells me that people like the content that I put out. Now, comment down below if you found this video interesting, and I will see you in the next one.